Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some of the stocks on the move today. I'm Paul Sweeney alongside John Tucker, and we're joined today by Bloomberg's Carmen Reinecke. Carmen, what are you looking at in the markets?
Yeah, so one of the first stocks I'm looking at this morning is Wingstop, ticker WING.
Chicken wings?
Chicken wings. Yeah, and this, I mean, you wouldn't think it would be such a big move. The stock is up 23%. It's the best intraday jump since 2022, so best in 3 years for this stock. It reported earnings, adjusted earnings per share and revenue beat Wall Street estimates. It also had a forecast for domestic sales growth for the full year that's up 1% more than expected. So analysts were really cheering that outlook as setting the company up for an attractive path forward. They also called out something. So the company is rapidly opening stores. The CEO mentioned that. And they're hoping.
Do they have them around here? Okay, keep going, Carmen.
So the stores should also benefit from improving operational efficiencies, including this smart kitchen that they've been rolling out. It's expected to be system-wide by the end of the year, and it's helps them make chicken wings faster.
What's like AI meets chicken wings?
It cuts down ticket time and makes their kitchens more efficient.
Whatever.
So.
Wasn't there a chicken shortage at some point? What happened to that whole thing?
They were sick.
There was the avian flu, so it was eggs.
All right, here we go.
Wingstop,
well. New York, 8th Avenue and 55th Street, John, after the show.
Okay.
We'll go check it out. All right, what else you got for us?
Charlie's free.
Yes.
So I'm also looking at shares of Starbucks. So this is ticker SBUX. This was actually had a huge sort of fall off this morning. So it was up as much as 6.4% and then reversed. It's now down about 3%. So it also reported earnings last night. Sales and profit fell more than anticipated. And it seems like this is potentially sparking worry that the company's turnaround is going slower than expected. I think investors have really been trying to digest, the new CEO, Brian Niccol. He's been there since September. There's a lot of optimism around him, sort of versus,
This
what
is the
they're
guy
seeing.
who's like working remotely as CEO.
Yes, because he came from Chipotle, and so he's not in Seattle. So anyway, he's made a lot of changes. It seems like it hasn't 100% quite come through into the financials yet. So analysts and investors are really watching that.
Well, they are writing on your cups again. At least to mine,
good.
Which I think is kind of a throwback to the early days, as opposed to just the sticker. I get maybe my name, a little smiley face. So they're trying to get back to the kind of the.
That's all the reason to go there.
Little nice message.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's my Starbucks thing. The drive-through is like 20 cars deep. I walk in the store, there's like 3 people in there. I get my coffee in like 30 seconds. People have just totally gone to the drive-through route. So I don't know. All right, what else do we have? One more.
All right, so the other one I'm looking at is Palo Alto Networks and CyberArk. So those are tickers PANW and CYBR. So Palo Alto Networks shares are down about 8% right now. The company agreed to buy CyberArk Software Ltd in a cash and stock deal. It values the company at about $25 billion. The transaction is expected to close in the second half of Palo Alto's fiscal year 2026. It gives the company sort of a big suite of new identity security tools, and especially ones that can be used with artificial intelligence. So obviously that's a buzzword there. And wanted to point out CyberArk shares are down a little bit today. They're down about 2%. But yesterday, after we sort of heard the first rumblings of this deal, the stock closed at a record high and was up like 13%.
And the most important aspect of this transaction is who's advising. We got JP Morgan advising the buyer. We got Frank Quattrone and Catalyst Partners advising the seller, as he always does. Frank Quattrone always get paid when there's money moving in Silicon Valley.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.